Assalamualaikum. My name is Luqman Hakim and my team member is Saiful Hakim. Today, we will be presenting a project that we've been working on for our assignment 4. So, the question for assignment 4 is, if PB1 is pressed in Arduino 1, RGB LED in Arduino 2 shows yellow. If push button 2 is pressed in Arduino 1, Arduino 2 shows purple. If push button 3 is pressed in Arduino 1, Arduino 2 shows green. When no push button is pressed, in Arduino 2 we show red, blue to green. So that's the question for our assignment 4. So this is the circuit. So there's 3 push button, left resistor. This is the Arduino 1, the master. Connect with Arduino 2, the slave. And this is the LED, RGB, with the resistor. Now, I will pass on to Saiful to explain how Arduino 1 works.
Okay. First of all, we included the library wire H to use the wire function. And then we declared push button 1, 2, and 3 as pin 8, this pin 8, and pin 4, and pin 2. And for the void setup, we set push button 1, 2, and 3 as inputs. And the wire.begin here is where they start the serial communication between two Arduinos. If push button 1 is pressed, it sends a signal to the slave, and same goes to the other push buttons. And when push button is pressed, it also prints out the serial monitor. It also prints out serial monitor. Now I'll show you the demo. As you can see here, the program starts, and when I press the button, push button 1 is sending a signal now. And when I press button 2, push button 2 is sending a signal. And when I press push button 3, the same thing happened. Now I'll send this to Luqman.
Okay, now I will talk about the slave. So in the slave, the programming here, we declare the LED pin for the LED RGB, the red light with 13, pin 13, blue, pin 12, and green, pin 11. So here 13, 12, and 11. And then the yellow is represent the push button that we receive. So when you receive push button 1, you want the LED to turn to yellow. When push button 2 is pressed, you want the purple. And when the push button 3 is pressed, you want the green to show. So, and then the yellow state is to declare for the memory. It will be used in the memory to remember when the push button is pressed, to remember that the value is always high. So on the void setup, we set up the pin to be the output. So LED red output, and the LED blue, green. The wire on receive is when we receive from the master. Okay, in the void loop there's nothing. Now in the void receive event, Okay, the yellow, the wire read from the Arduino 1, receive from Arduino 1. If yellow 1 is high, so this is the memory start here. If yellow 1 is equal to 1, it is high. So the yellow state will always be high. The memory for yellow. If purple is high, if push button 2 is pressed. So this one, the yellow is for the push button 1 is pressed. Then the yellow state will be high. So for the push button 2, if the button is pressed, the purple state will always be high. So this is for the push button 3. And then the green state will always be high. So when the push button is pressed, after the button is pressed, then the value will be low, will always be low. So when pressed, the value will be high. After you put your finger off the button, then the value will be low. So we want to read the high only. So we use the memory to remember when the push button is pressed. So when the push button is pressed, we want to remember it always be high. Now we start with the LED. So when yellow state is high, yellow state get formed when we push the PB1, push button 1, and receive from push button 1, and then remember the value is high. So when the value is high, we want to display the LED yellow. So RGB color, I will explain this later on by using void RGB color, and then serial pin receive yellow. So same with the push button 2. When receive push button 2 from the Arduino 1, if the value is high, and then print purple, show purple only, display purple. Same with push button 3, display green only. So if no button is pressed, then the LED will display red, blue, green. I use 10,000 here because if I use 0.5 second or 500, the LED will always will turn like a rainbow. You cannot see the red clearly, and also the blue and the green. You can't see the LED clearly. So I have to use 10,000 here to slow down to make sure you can see the red and blue and green color. So for reading the void color, the RGB color, this is the void RGB red, green, blue color. So first, integer red light value is the red light value for the LED, green light value for the LED, and blue light value for the LED. So analog right, the LED red, the pin LED red as the red light value. So green as for the green light value, and then pin blue as the blue light value. Now I will show you how it works. So start simulation. So the program start. So not receiving anything. Okay, turn red, blue, green. So as you can hear on the LED, red, and then blue, and then green. Red, blue, green, and then okay. If I push the push button 1, it will turn to yellow. On the serial monitor, it will show receive yellow. LED show yellow. If I push button 2, serial monitor show receive purple. On the LED, show purple only. If I push button 3, the serial monitor shows receive green, and the LED show green only. So that's all from us. Thank you for listening. I hope this will give you something good.